Well. Welcome, guys. Hello. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Good morning. Welcome. Good day, ladies and gents. Here I am. Hope you're all doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, as always. Or good evening. Smash those like buttons. Smash the like button. Not those like buttons. There's only one, isn't there? Smash it, guys. Smash the like button. Let everyone know we are here. Looking forward to a big one today. Massive stream. We do have some high impact news. Happens to be CPI, so it's a big one, guys. CPI. So obviously it's a change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Now the forecast is to be less than the previous, so that is to be the case. So greater or equal to the forecast is generally considered strong, good for a currency. Obviously the forecast is to be less than the previous, so we'll have to see. I did a little bit of investigative work earlier today on the previous month's figures and how price reacted in accordance to the release. So obviously the release the last few months came out as CPI came out higher than expected, so suggesting inflation is still a beast yet to be tamed, and hence the reason for what was a move to the upside. Now on both occasions price pretty much tapped into a 4-hour level, so I'll go into the details once I get underway with the analysis, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can come up with. Going to be a big one, going to be an interesting one nonetheless. As for NY, well, it's a bank holiday in New York, so I doubt I will be on for NY session members, just to let you know. Sorry to break your hearts, but the man's allowed a little bit of respite, so I'm looking forward to a little bit of chill time after the stream. Been a cracking week. Obviously yesterday was big day, huge day. 3 trades, 3 wins. Caught one on the stream, caught another really nice trade during the stream, and I also caught an absolute spanking gold trade not long prior to the MI session, which was called out in the Discord. Fortunately it happened pretty much a minute after I called it, so it would have been hard to get involved, but nonetheless was a cracking entry. So without further ado, guys, enough of that, and please say good day, guys. Smash the like button, let everyone know we are on stream. We want to make this the #1 London session stream. We will do it. I guarantee you I will continue to press. I will be here, rain, hail or shine. So all you guys have to do is make sure to support, hit the like button, spam the chat, let everyone know we are about. And without further ado, let's get cracking. Let's have a look at GJ. We have how long now until the news? We have about 20 minutes, under 20 minutes remaining. Starting at the weekly time frame, we can see we are forming a strong bullish candle. Once again, we have respected a low of the previous candle. That candle left a long wick to the upside. However, seeing we are forming a strong bullish candle back above the resistance here to the left, we have respected a low of the previous weekly candle. Again, looking at this, the news could blow it out the window though, but just by looking at the way the current candle is forming, I'd be looking for potential levels that price could pull back to potentially form a support at on the minor time frame, that being the M30. So it could be a 4-hour level, could be an M30 level, for us to form a support at and head back up towards the current weekly candle's high, so in line with the current weekly candle. Looking at daily candles, so far we've had 2 consecutive days to open a week with closing bullish with high lows, higher highs. On the previous daily candle, current candle, very little volume as to be expected, seeing there is news to come shortly, so it's just waiting for the release, and there's bound to be some volume kicking in. What we can see is we're right hard up pressed against this resistance, which has been a pretty tricky level around that 201, 200, between 200.5 and 201, the highest 0.6. So however, we are technically bullish in structure with counter probabilities to the upside. Let's mark in a previous daily candle's high, and we'll see once we go down to the 4-hour M30, do we have any clean traffic above that level? As far as below the current daily candle's low, don't think we're going to have really much options in that respect. By looking at the 4-hour, very choppy traffic to the downside. As we can see, the structure still remains bearish in the 4-hour. It's the only time frame that is currently bearish in structure. It's going to mark in the highest point. I will adjust it accordingly if I need to do so once I go down to the M30 to incorporate the highest point of any bearish candle formation at that resistance. So just marking that level, we can see just consolidating, very little direction in price action, all roads lead to the news, CPI shortly. But based off what we can see, we are technically bearish in structure on the 4-hour time frame, and just respecting the resistance below the previous daily candle low. So that's our immediate range in a 4-hour between 200.2 and 200.6, not that much margin within it. Onto the 30-minute. Now I can just adjust this accordingly, like so and like so, and that's our 4-hour range. And what we can see, so look, I could draw in support just here, guys. However, what's likely to happen with the news to be released, if the news is to come out less than the forecast, well, that would suggest that inflation could be under control, and that could provide some weakness to the pound. So therefore, what is likely to happen is price is likely just to burst straight through the most immediate support. And then what I can look for is where could we potentially pull back to. As I said earlier today, my time, obviously being in Oz, is daytime. Had a look at some potential levels. Wealth hack, you can go forth and multiply, my friend. Hold on. Sorry guys, just have to remove someone who should not be here. There you go. No promotion of another channel within the group. All right. So as I mentioned before, guys, earlier today, my time, it is daytime in Australia, I had a look at what happened in previous data. Previous time we had CPI, the last 4 months to be exact. To be honest, the first few months of the year wasn't much movement. But however, the last few months, what's happened was price tend to have, both times it came out higher than the forecast, which is good for the currency strength. Both times it did the exact same thing. It will look to the left, pick out the most recent 4-hour resistance. It literally tapped into the 4-hour resistance before it rejected and ended up heading back down. If that was to be the case, but first of all, for the sells, we have this level to the upside around that 201.4 to 201.5 to 0.6 exact. So if price was to just rip at the news, open news, I'm going to consider taking a cheeky little sell, stop loss back above the resistance in anticipation. I'm going to tap into that level, grab that liquidity, reject it. Doesn't mean it's going to be a full pullback to where it come from. However, it could just pull back to give us 20, 30 pips or whatever with the momentum, with the volume, and then form a support and head back up to fill the candle. That is something to consider. So just based off the 4-hour, guys, I'm looking to see what levels. Not interested in the current level because it's just no margin. It's too close. It's likely going to burst through it. So as far as the sell point, sells below that 201.37. As soon as we start tapping into that level, may consider a potential sell. Now, based off the 4-hour buys, we have this here to the left hand side. If price starts popping below 1995, it's a psychological round number 2, guys. It lines up with 4-hour support. If we pop down to 1195, I'm just going to use that wick, most recent bullish candle below the current support. At that support, then I will consider just entering a buy, stop loss below. Again, smaller position, guys, so it's nothing major. Just sort of forward testing. As I mentioned in the past, I prefer to actually trade on a live account forward testing rather than back testing. It just, you have the feeling, the emotion of being involved in a live trade. It's very different to trading on demo. So this is just the news, guys. This is just for the next in the next 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes. That's likely what I'm going to be looking at, those two levels. It looks far away, but we know what the news can do. So if price taps into either of those two levels, I may look for the sell from the high, buy from the low. Now, moving forward into the rest of the session, let's just see what happens to the news. We know there could be options for GJ. The weekly is forming bullish. If we do pop back down to this support and remain above 200, that level I mentioned yesterday where I took the early buys yesterday, we respect pop down, even breaking below the previous daily candle's low, only to pop back above that support. That point there, I'm going to be looking for my potential buy options to take it back up. Just trading the range, trading like the weekly candle. However, the bias is technically still bearish, but using the weekly candle, using the daily candle probabilities, daily candles, consecutive candles closed bullish from high, low, high, high, I would still consider the buy for sure. Now, for the sells, let's just say we do pop up into that range. We've got clean traffic above that 200.8, only to start closing back below it. Then at that point there, I'm going to contemplate a potential sell option. So sells below, but this is, once again, this is probably for later on into the session after things are settled down from the news. So once again, buys above, sorry guys, buys back above 200.8 psychological number. Also clean traffic to the left of it. So let's just say we start to whipsaw from the news and price just up, down, and stays within this range. Then I'm going to be waiting for likely closures above 200.8 or closures below the support formed at the previous daily candle's low. We've tapped into it multiple times. If we start to pop below at 200 flat level, at that point there, I'm definitely going to be contemplating my sell options to take it back down. So hopefully it sounds good to you guys. So let's see, there could be options now. Could even look to some sort of structure formation on the 1 minute or 3 minute time frame. Wait, remains to be seen, but that's just from back testing. That's the only way to really learn about the news. Unfortunately, you can't forward test it unless you're trading it, and I've never really traded live. So that's my opinion of it. Let's see what we can come up with. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. Hit the like button, smash it guys, do me a favor. 14 people so far, hit the likes. I need 17 more who are on the stream to make sure to do the same. All right. Oh. One. All right, there's the poll question. I don't want to add an option. All right, poll question, guys. What are we thinking? Up or down? Up or down? Smash your answer into the poll question. Are we up or down after the news? Let me know what you think. Alrighty, guys. 33 of you on stream. TikTok, thank you for joining. If you've not yet, make sure to follow me. Forex QM, good day to you. I'm assuming you're saying to me you're from Poland. Nice one. I'm from Australia, my friend. Will 2 eyes down? Okay. Well, I don't know from what they've come out with. I'm not sure what they're expecting, to be honest. I mean, all I can go by is the forecast, which is to be less than the previous. So as long as it's above the forecast, it's going to be deemed decent, good for the currency strength. If it's below it, then obviously the pound might shit the bed, so have to wait. All right, in the meantime, let's take a look at my old mate, the gold bagger. All right, quickly looking at the gold, we have 8 minutes to place your bets for London with CPI. Sorry. All right, so gold weekly bullish, still based off the previous. At this point, look, we've pulled back to and we've respected that 50%. I know the news yesterday gave it a pump, but we have now sustained that push to the upside at a resistance though. So we briefly popped up to create a tiny upper wick. Onto the daily, bouncing off this support to the left hand side. Structure wise, we remain bullish, just consolidating, no clear direction within price action on a daily time frame right now. Or if we do begin to break above the previous daily candles high, we have counter probabilities to the upside. We could continue to the upside. If we do have the volume momentum, which is doubtful, considering it is a bank holiday over in the US today, then price could eventually at some point push back up towards 23.76 based off the daily time frame. 4-hour structure remains bearish. So we got the daily as bullish, we've got the weekly as bullish, we've got 4 hours bearish, we've got resistance current level, which we're pretty much sitting at. We've got support lower down. What we can see with form support below resistance is normally a pretty good signal to look for a sell, considering we rejected that resistance and we've formed a support below it. That provides potential entry points usually for the sell to take it back down in line with the actual structure itself. However, the 30-minute might give us a different opinion of that. So 30-minute structure wise is technically bullish. So that goes against that plan based off the 4-hour. It is at a higher time frame resistance. This whole level is a tricky level on gold, to be honest. Anywhere within it, I feel it could potentially reject. Where do you mark it in? Yeah, it's to be honest, it's one big zone because it is all 4-hour levels. So I'm kind of inclined to keep that, because even if it bursts through it, that's okay if it does burst through it. So if it bursts through it like so, that's fine. Cuts through that crap to the left. Then what I'm waiting for is a pullback. Then you're playing within clean candles and it's cut open this zone. No longer concerned so much by it. But aside from that, until that happens, I'm fearful it could reject. So therefore I will not be comfortable buying into it. So therefore I will not be buying into it. What I'd rather wait for is either that impulse, correction, support to buy it. Otherwise, like I said, we form support just below the resistance. Could there be options? Possibly. But the other thing I'm seeing is 30-minute structure will remain bullish anywhere above this point here, above 23.18.725. So as long as we respect that level, we pull back within the current daily to grab some more liquidity, and it would make sense to pull back to that level. We still haven't really got much of a low wick. It's not a great deal of volume in the current daily candle. So if we do just begin to pop below, bounce off this 23, anywhere between 23.23, 23.20, then I could look for my catalyst win price action to potentially take a buy back up towards the current daily candles high. But in all honesty, guys, I don't feel like gold is going to give much today with the bank holiday over in the US and with CPI for the pound. I think all eyes are on the pound right now, so might not focus so much on gold. So buys from that support, sells from below it would make sense. Once you flip the structure, it might require a clean impulse down, pull back, rejection, that type of thing. But at least you're flipping structure after tapping into this wire resistance. If it starts to close below support formed in the current daily candles low, you're likely not going to have the margin, in all honesty, guys. Take it back down to the next support. It just depends. Possible sells below it, but at this rate, it really depends. So that's gold. Not really liking it right now. So let's keep an eye on the GJ. GU. I'll just use the chart I marked up prior to the stream. I sent in some analysis into the Discord group. For me, the news once again is just going to blow this thing up completely. Buys, yeah, like I mentioned, the 4-hour, it reacts to 4-hour zone. So for the buys, I'd probably say if you're looking for a catalyst, or it's not for a catalyst, if you're looking for the news to if it does create a move down, when figures come out as negative for the pound, then it lines up the psychological round number 126.80. If price does pull back to tap into that level, could be options just to buy it, stop loss below support. As far as the sells, buys are obviously upon continuation above the high. Sells, you're gonna need to wait. You know, honestly, I've got this horizontal marked in yellow. Go to line chart for a minute. Quite relevant on the line chart, and also when you go back to the candlesticks as well, it lines up with some traffic on the 4 hour. So to me, that looks to be a potential level that price could pull up to grab some more liquidity and potentially reject. Make of that what you will. I won't be looking at it, to be honest. I'm focused on the GJ for the news, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know what you think. How's it going, guys? How's the week going? I hope it's been a good one. Who we got here today? T-Dog, good day. Good to see you. Hope you're all, brother. Franco, good morning, my friend. Meadow, can we sell GU for CPI, or do you think buys? Right now, I'm focused on GJ. And really, you need to wait for the news. You really need to wait for the first few minutes of price action to play out, and then look for levels. I'm not one for trading news, to be honest, but I'm starting to look the ways I can get involved. I'm not keen on buy stop, sell stops, because you're going to get slipped. You're going to get slipped, and you might get triggered into both options. So I'd rather just have a wide entry target, a bit of a wider stop loss on a smaller position. So from what the data I gathered from just looking back today at past results, not indicative of future results though. However, past results suggest that it does react strongly to 4 hour levels. It does react quite strongly to 4 hour levels. So whether that be the news comes out negative for the pound and drops back down to 199.50, as I mentioned before, that's where on the release of news, I might look for a cheeky little buy. Or if it pops up to 201.37, might look for a cheeky little sell. That's just the news, and then we can wait after it to see where things settle down and plan again. Hannah, good day to you. Ben, good morning, my brother. Hope you're all, mate. Good to have you on the stream. Clarksonization, good morning to you. Leo, good morning, mate. Elias, good morning. Lagoon, not sure just yet. Ian, not sure just yet. Daniel, not sure just yet. Robbie, good to see you, my friend. Been a while. Yes, hope you're well. Israel news setup buying, potentially, not sure just yet. Will Tobias, you said down. Yep. Christopher, you said up. Okay. Bro, good morning to you. 3 minutes CPI. Yep. Now we've got less than a minute. Jeff Wilson, afternoon to you. So let's get ready, guys. Shit. Could open my administrator, shouldn't I? Make sure it's on GJ. The spreads are starting to widen, and we're starting to move. The spreads are widening on IC markets. Here we go, guys. So I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm not entering nothing just yet. There's no orders set. Let's see. All right, pumping up on my MetaTrader. If anyone has the data, what is it saying? What's it coming out as? As forecast. All right. So it's less still than the previous. So it does suggest that inflation could be under control. So I'm not entering nothing yet, guys. I'm literally going to wait for the wider level. This thing could just tear shreds and rip straight through. Or I could just bop about. If that's to be the case, so be it. We'll reassess and plan ahead. To me, this level here is just too close to where we were. Some of you may have taken a cheeky sell at that point. Fantastic. If you are, you're well in profit. All right, so it doesn't look like it's going to make that move, which is fine. It's far-fetched, I know. But now what we can wait for is, let's just see how this candle closes. If it closes back near its low, then that would suggest to me a grab liquidity from this resistance. And if we begin to break below this candle's low, would potentially be an option to sell it. Flexionization, not much of a difference. No, it's pretty much almost where it's open, or it's still within the consolidation. Gold did nothing as to be expected. Not really relevant to gold. All right, so I can remove that. All good. So today it popped up to the most recent resistance and rejected. You just watch and learn, guys. This is all we do when it comes to such events like CPI. Not something I'm really overly familiar with as far as trading it. I usually just sit it out and wait. But all you do is you take screenshots, you take notes of what happened. I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway. And that's how you learn. All right. All right. So looking at TikTok, Forex QM had our forecast gold today, up or down. For me, gold is going to be difficult trading it due to the fact that it is US bank holiday. So it does tend to have more volume during the MI session, obviously being a USD pair. So for me, it's going to be difficult. I probably would not be trading it if, in all honesty, I'd rather just focus on the pound pairs today. Have a look at GU. All right, so GU, yeah, nowhere near happy into anything much at all. Bit of a non-event, to be honest. Kind of hyped up, and nothing much has happened. So it is what it is. What can you do? Gauge. Buy once it hits support. Maybe. And I'll bombed out. I'm not sure what you mean by that, unfortunately. Steve A, good morning to you. Hope you're well, brother. All right, YouTube, you know what you have to do. Smash that like button. And let me know. Type Y if you are in a trade. Y for yes, N for no. Y or N, guys. Type in the chat. Are you in a trade? Let me know. Let's get this chat pumping. I want it to be a really, really cool vibe in this place. I want it to be pumping. I want people to engage. I want people to feel comfortable. All right, I'm gonna send a Discord link into the Zoom, Discord link, a Zoom link into the Discord. I'll try that again. I think I'm partly dyslexic. Probably am, to be honest. Deal is, as you guys know, make sure to continue to watch me on another device if you are to join the Zoom link. Cannot afford to lose you guys on YouTube. Steve, yes, okay, nice one. Gbpm today going to be a slow day? Yeah, potentially. Benny C, here he is, Mr. The Chief, or what I call you? The right hand man. Is the move going to come tomorrow when they announce what they're doing with interest rates? I think likely with the pound. Yeah, so tomorrow is another big day, the official cash rate statement, the bank rate statement. So I think it just depends on what comes out of that, and if even if it's as per the forecast. Just depends if it's a hawkish or dovish speech from the Bank of England. So that is something to definitely be wary of, and maybe that is what will happen. Maybe not much is going to happen until then. Seeing the forecast came out for CPIs came out as per the forecast CPI, so maybe it's going to just wait for some rhetoric from the Bank of England moving forward tomorrow, unless priced in potentially. Yep, EU moving. Is it? You get excited when EU moves like 5 pips these days because it's quite a significant move. I know what you mean though. Pop down and pop back up. Let's do some analysis on the Euro USD, the most liquid Forex pair on the market. All right, weekly. Yeah, still really insignificant compared to the previous candle, but respecting the 50%. Again, you draw that in. Look at it. Look what it's tapped right into, and so far respecting it. How accurate is that, guys? So why I draw that in is because this is a level I'd like to see the seller step in and defend if we were to continue in like that previous candle, but start to pop above it and form a support above it. There is a high probability at that point then we will continue to the upside, push further into that previous weekly candle's high. So far we're respecting that level. Still at this stage, I'd be calling it bearish based on the previous weekly. Looking at the current daily, or very little volume, looking at the structure itself, it is technically bearish. Previous daily closed a weak bullish candle, suggesting exhaustion. At that support, we still remain below it. Further to the left, looking to the left, it's remained below this support. It's a very strong level, 107 or 107.40 roughly. So we continue to remain below it, and there's high chance we will continue to the downside. With that in the 4 hour, very strong level that it is failing to close above. So you could probably mark that in. You can use the line chart as well if you really wanted to, guys. Just to, if you're ever in doubt, there's nothing wrong going down to the line chart and just connecting the dots, if you know what I mean. Like from swing point to swing point, what level has multiple tap-ins? You can see if you just drag this across, we've got heaps of tap-ins to this current level. Drag across further, multiple tap-ins where price dropped below, rejected, retested, rejected, broke back above it, dropped below, retested, rejected, retested it here, so on and so forth. So you can see, go back to the candlestick chart, guys. For education, smash the like button. YouTube, do it. I know you want to. Don't resist. All right, support there. Let's look. So the 4 hours bearish, M30 structures flip bullish. See, now I'd probably just remove this and adjust it to more recent price action. Now I'll just be using this and I'll keep it in gray. Clean traffic above it. So I would say closure above 107.430, and it's likely there's a good higher probability that price will head up towards the resistance at the previous daily candle's high. The tap into 107.577. So I'll be looking for the buys above. Want to see a closure above, considering it is consolidating just now, so I'd never take impulse entries out of consolidation and rather see the closure above. Now, seeing the bias is technically bearish, albeit against the M30 structure, I would still entertain a sell. Similar to the buy, you'd need to see closure below. It's just consolidating, so I don't, once again, take any impulse entry out of consolidation. So for me, closure below and sell it. So basically the current level is untradeable in my opinion. It's just consolidating, no clear direction, could reject, could do anything, could end up straight back in the middle of all this crap. So it's a matter of just waiting for it to choose and simply let it close below, tap in, reject, and that's your option. That's all I'd be doing on EU for the time being. What's going on TikTok? I don't understand that platform. Some days you have it rocking where you have like 50, 60, 70. Some days it's like 2 or 3. Chief Chat Officer, that's a good one. I like that, Ben. Nah, you're more than that, brother. Steve A in NZD CAD buy at the moment. All right, interesting pair to be trading. I remember last time I looked at this. If I have looked at this, I don't think I have on stream. So you said you're in a buy. All right, weekly. Kind of probability is the downside, but it does look like it could potentially be flipping. Daily structure is bullish. Nice closure on the previous daily. Current daily, if it begins to break the high of the previous, does look good to continue to the upside. Tapped into the resistance, by the way, to the left and bounced off it on the previous daily candle. So it's just further potential move to the upside. 4 hour. There's a resistance. Structure wise, it is bullish. It's flipped back bullish. Yep. So it's technically bullish from this big impulse, to be honest. But the micro trends also flip back bullish. So far it suggests to me it's a buy. So far, like your entry, or the direction of your entry. Not sure if I like your entry though, but we'll see about that. M30 is also, it's bullish across the board. Yeah, M30 is bullish. Form support at this previous support. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, brother. It's looking like it could come back up towards the current daily candles high and the previous daily candles high. I would say as long as it respects 84.10, then it should be right to continue to the upside. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. If it starts to pop below it, you've got some clean traffic to the left. Flipping micro trend back bearish, lower highs, lower lows. Daily's pulling back more significantly into the previous daily. Don't necessarily need to, considering the way it closed with a long wick rejection. 4 hour counter probability is the downside. So yeah, so the sells below that support, buys above it. So you're looking pretty good. $15 minutes. All right, let's see on GJ. Let's see how we close. Good thing is, guys, this is all right. I prefer it to close strong up near its high, because at least we're at that resistance. So if we remain below it, there's going to be options to sell it. If we start to close above it, there's going to be options to buy it. So this isn't bad, guys. Maximization, slow day. Maybe just watch and learn. Possibly. Nothing wrong with that. You're in an ETHUSD trade. All right, nice one. Yeah, I actually looked at ETH for the first time in God knows how long yesterday, and I could not believe what the price of it is right now. I didn't realize. I thought it was still like 2K or something. I didn't realize it's up to 3.5. Because a lot of these altcoins are back down at some pretty crappy numbers right now. I mean, Arbitrum is one I was looking into a fair bit. Did have a position, that was one of the ones I actually won on, as far as when I was investing in crypto. That was just, I had held it for like a few months, but I got in around 95 cents or something, or $1, and when I had to sell for certain circumstances and needed to be funded, got out around $1.10 or $1.20. It's a small profit, but not sure if it's a good investment. To be honest, not sure if crypto in general is a great investment these days. After what I've seen, what I've been reading and following and hearing and watching. This is my shit. This is what I like. Oh. That's quality. I reckon that's cool. Most undervalued commodity there is on the market. Thank me later. Not financial advice. TikTok, don't worry about it. Don't worry, it's all good. All good. Not financial advice. I swear it's not. 5 pips per on a little flip. Yeah, EU. EU and AU. Wow, AU is absolutely pumping. This should be the strongest out of the majors, in all honesty, because the RBA is probably the most hawkish out of all the major banks, central banks. Goats, good day to you. Speaking of the Aussies, you'll be happy to hear weather was a bit better here today, this morning. Well, actually, this morning was, man, that was cold. 2 degrees overnight, so it was frosty. But the day was quite pleasant, actually. Nice and sunny. Franco, G, same as GJ, closing above resistance, ready for buys. The analysis. Yeah, I'll use this chart today. Yep. Yeah, you need a nice strong closure above now, though. Music Jack Guru. Lovo, did I miss gold analysis? Yeah, gold. Gonna be difficult trading today because the bank holiday. For me, I prefer to buy it at this stage, but I don't want to buy it into the resistance. I'd rather buy it in a pullback. So really a pullback to anywhere above 23.20, and I would still entertain it buys. Start to consider sells as the M30 structure flips bearish below 23.18, and also buys from lower down, just trading range. But possible sells below support formed at resistance. However, once again, you're not likely going to have the margin to do so, because I would be very cautious with impulse entries against the actual bias, which is bullish. And if you are to wait for a closure, it could likely just tap into that support in the meantime. So that is my opinion of the gold. 24 likes, guys. Let's smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys, but don't break your screen. Not paying for any screen breakages. I will be dropping some YouTube shorts today and tomorrow, and possibly Friday and Saturday. So keep an eye out for them, guys. They'll be dropped around 10:30 AM UK time. They're all educational. It's all good stuff. So do have a watch. Do share the love. TikTok. Tabang, good morning to you, brother. Good to see you back on the stream. Once again, bro, if you can't find me here, just look me up on YouTube. You'll definitely find me there. All right, so waiting 9 minutes now. I'll see what GJ does. So like I said, guys, if we wanted to close, if not above, we want to close still a strong counter up near the high, because then there could be options to potentially sell moving forward. If we do reject, maybe a candle into London Open potentially, or maybe even a London Open candle, could be options to sell it if this candle closes up near the high. So we'll see, and if it closes above it, we'll be a little bit more cautious to be wary of a little bit of a fake out off the back of the news as well. So likely entries would be on continuation as opposed to limit orders. But yeah, we'll just wait and see anyway. We've got still a bit of time. Did a cracking leg workout today at the gym. I know you guys want to talk soccer. Probably gonna lose like 38 viewers right now by calling it soccer. What's happening? What's been happening in whatever's going on? Euro, whatever it is Euro Cup. I have no idea. Who is James? Maybe he'll fill us in. Good morning to you, mate. How are you?
Morning, champ. Very well, you?
All good. Just waiting to see what GJ decides what it wants to do. It hasn't off the back of the news. Hasn't really done much.
No. Especially given the numbers as well.
Yeah, so as per forecast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as Ben mentioned before, could now be leaning towards what happens tomorrow with the cash rate statement.
Yeah, tomorrow's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. Correct, and also it just depends what they say, if it's a hawkish or dovish sort of speech, but it does look like inflation could be coming under control, so more likely to potentially cut rates sooner. I'm not sure if they'll want to hear if it's going to happen tomorrow. I think I was saying July or just before the election, whenever it is, or just after. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because there was some talk about June being the first potential
Cut.
drop.
Yeah.
But that was a couple of months ago now.
Okay. So if that's to be the case, then maybe tomorrow could give us a bit of a sell option, but yeah, it's a wait and see game on the pound.
Are you taking anything on gold this morning?
No, gold's going to be tricky because of the bank holiday in the US. There's just no volume.
Oh, is it US bank holiday? Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely dead. I have no idea still what is it? It's the Juneteenth. I have no idea what it means.
No.
If anyone can fill us in, anyone from the States or anyone who has any idea. Yeah, so I'm not expecting much of gold, in all honesty, today. How about you? Looking at anything, or just waiting?
Just says GJ buys above.
Yep.
I didn't even. When I saw the news, the red folder at 7 o'clock. It's like, oh, go on, it's 1:15.
Yeah, that's it. There's no hurry.
No point coming on before.
Ben, basically Justin's coming home. Oh, is that you're talking about the football?
Yeah.
Feel like they need to see another month minimum before cutting rates? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's what I've been hearing as well. Possibly next month. Coming home, I'm sure that's what you guys always say, and then you get rolled every time.
Every single tournament.
The same with the cricket. I mean, you had us covered for like one Ashes series, I think it was, and then everything came back to the norm. After that, it didn't last long.
Thing with that is, I've never met an English person who cares about that.
About the cricket?
Yeah.
Oh, really? To be honest, it's nowhere near as popular here as what it used to be.
Really?
No, it used to be. I remember back in the day, the one-day cricket when I used to wear their pajamas. That was entertaining when you had the West Indies and all those teams, and I know I'm probably too early for you, but Bonnie Walsh and Curtly Ambrose, and man, those guys were scary fellas. That was entertaining back those days. But I'm not a big fan anymore. But still, the Ashes is something you tend to follow a little bit.
Yeah, football in this country is like
everything.
Cult following. Yeah.
Yeah. A bit like the Aussie rules here in Melbourne, I suppose, and
yeah,
southern states here in Oz. Ben, I like to bash the Aussies in the Ashes, but other than that, T20 or 100 for me.
There you go. There's someone that does care about cricket.
To be honest, I watch it when I'm away. Well, I don't watch it. I'll watch it if I'm at a sports bar or something and it's on. But I used to love it. I used to love cricket when I was younger. Like everything else, you tend to grow out of a lot of things. And it becomes pretty boring having to sit there all day, even when you're playing.
Hey guys,
Mr. Phil, good day to you. How are you?
good day. Good.
No,
How
it's
about
okay.
you?
All good, mate. All good. Just waiting on GJ. So looking like it's closing strong up near high, which is good. Still no entries, but we're at a level of interest, which is could provide for potential entry at London Open. Just needs to wait. What are you looking at today?
The GJ is pretty similar to what I'm looking at on GU, but I don't like that rejection.
The rejection?
Yeah, it's similar to what you have here on GJ, almost the same. It's just for GU, it's closer to the low.
Yeah.
So,
to be honest, though, I agree. The long wick rejection is slightly off-putting, and it's also closing below. But in this circumstance, I'd probably prefer it if it actually closed back like so, and then maybe would have taken a cheeky little sell below to support. Pretty clean trap to the left, rejecting that resistance. So it's likely would have at that point to make the move down. But
yeah, I'm looking for something like this on GA, but not on GU. GU now, the way it's closed.
Okay, yep. On the 2-hour though, or 2 hours about to go. I reckon if this, because I know you trade it more than 2 hours, this 2 hour closes back near the low. That's gonna be a nice option to sell it.
But it's at a zone where if you look to the left, there is a resistance just below that. So
yeah, probably
everything is just moving. Yeah.
Probably needs to close below that level.
Yeah.
Close below 190.2, roughly 2.3.
I did miss that entry from yesterday from the high on G. I was planning for that since the beginning of the week, but unfortunately I missed the entry. I couldn't get it.
It happens, man. As long as you didn't force something afterwards, that's the main thing.
Yeah. But I might have an opportunity on EJ if it was to close above this -1 here. The structure is bullish on the lower time frame.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I like it above that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good above that level. Similar to EU, but EU is pure consolidation. It just needs to, either side of it got some clean traffic. It just needs to decide. Yeah, I think EJ looks good for potential continuation to the upside if it breaks that resistance. It is bullish, like you mentioned. Gonna be tough to sell it because you've got this whole level of support, and then as soon as you break below that, there's not much margin to 4 hour level.
But I would much glad it break that low to sell it. I would much like that option because it lines more with the higher time frame, and I think with that there is more room for it to move. You can see it's rejected this previous level from last week on the 4 hour and the daily as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit choppy below, but yeah, if it continues to reject, I mean, to me it looks cleaner below 168.97. I reckon I'd prefer to buy it really and avoid getting involved below 169.190 because it could just bounce off that 4 hour support at 169.10. Yeah, so I don't know, the cleanest area is, like you mentioned, above that resistance. Yes. For me, that's the best level to get involved right now. Otherwise, I'm going to take a pullback potentially. EJ tapped in, rejected. Or did this thing just open and pop straight up? Did too. Alright, this is going to be interesting, guys. Gotta wait till this M30 closes. Now, options could be right now. Like, I'm not saying enter right now, but I mean for London Open. This candle closes strong bearish, this M15, followed by a weak bullish closure, forming that minor pause below previous resistance. We could look to sell it as it breaks the 30-minute candle's low. It's flipping just now, so if it closes above, there could be options to buy it. If it closes above in the first 15-minute candle, next candle closes weak bearish, that's going to give me further confluences to buy it as it begins to break above the weak bearish pause above resistance. So there could be options, guys. Goats, EJ, yep. Just looking at Saxy, more into you. Maximization, could I look at CHF, Gbpjpy, Swiss, and the yen. It's obviously in a bit of an uptrend by the looks of it. Wow, what's going on here? Yeah, that is that all-time highs? Yeah, I think it is. So it's in a massive uptrend. So once again, maybe overbought. Doesn't mean just sell it because you need to wait for confirmation. So daily, nothing, absolutely nothing. Still trending very strong to the upside. Breaks the previous daily candle high, it's likely to continue to trend to the upside. Let's mark in at 50% that previous daily candle, see if there's any levels of interest as to at that level, to see if there is support or resistance or whatever. See if there's any data price could potentially pull back to form a support at or reject and pop below. Nothing on the 4 hours, doesn't really line up for anything. 4 hours obviously in a massive uptrend as well. Form resistance at the highs, form support at this point here. I'll leave that in because it lines up with the bearish candle. Leave that in, lines up with bullish wicks to the downside. All right, I'd just be looking to buy it. In all honesty, I would not try to counter trend trade a really strong uptrend. So I'd be looking at this potential level, 177 or 178 psychological level. So even if it pops below it and respects this support, only start closing back above it, I'd be looking to buy it back up. Further buy options, that's in line with the 50% in the previous daily candle as well. So it would be respecting that level. Further options above the high upon continuation, obviously. Now, you're not even going to be flipping any structure at this point. Look, it sort of looks like a swing, but it technically... Look, you might have a different provider to a more consecutive candles pulling back just the opposite direction. If so, then that you could potentially use that as your catalyst to start selling. Price pops back down, bounces off that level, and only to grab some more liquidity, trigger in some buyers to wipe them out and start closing below that 177.90. And that could be the sell option at that point.
GU is looking quite nice. If the way the 1 hour is looking so close.
GU? I'll take a look at it in just one moment. Yeah, so that's Swiss yen. I prefer to buy it. So hopefully that makes sense. GU. Yep.
It might just leave us behind.
Yeah,
the way it's moving,
pushing.
It might just fly. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. I wouldn't really have any catalyst right now to sell it though, to buy it. Not a bad, to be honest, it's not a bad catalyst based off the 15-minute week bearish closure. Breaking above it. Doesn't look great in the 30 though. But see how that formed at the previous level of resistance. Like right at it. So if you start breaking above that, then likely you're gonna get back up to the minimum the previous candle's high, M30 candle. And above that you got pretty clean traffic, so would have been impulsive, but I think it wouldn't have been worst. But for me, focus is on GJ. RSI in the 4 hour. I'm sure it's absolutely crazy. I don't know. What is it, like 150 or something? What am I doing? Am I looking at the right thing? On what time frame? Weekly or daily? It's weird, daily. Yeah, I mean the RSI, no, it's set automatically at 70. I reckon 80 is the level. If I was to use RSI as confluence, I'd be looking for more overbought at the 80 level. Because a lot of time when price pushes into that overbought level, it will continue. It doesn't just because it hits 70 reject or whatever. I find it tends to push further into it and then maybe reject, then pop down, then maybe pop back up again. Top level and Bollinger Bands too, looks good for more pullback. Yeah, off the 4 hour, it actually does. And it's tapped into the 80. So based off that, yeah, if you would use indicators as added confluence, then for sure, maybe it's a longer term swing. But looking at RSI here, it keeps respecting the 50s, so not sure if it's gonna come all the way back down to oversold territory though. So you could possibly use that as confluence and target the 50 on the RSI. To be honest, the RSI I feel is one of the best indicators you could use. Still, I don't really bother. It's just in trades too short a time frame to generally worry about it. All right. DJ looking good. This rate, I'm just waiting. It's coming from too far below to look for any impulse entry. Let's just watch this. Just, oof. 1 minute looks like it gives you heart palpitations. I don't know how anyone can actually trade off the 1 minute, but just want to see what happens on the 1 minute. Things closed above. Just respect that resistance and start popping back above it. Also tapping into that 80 level. Ben, looking at that from a different perspective than Justin teaches. Yep, exactly. There's nothing wrong with adding maybe an indicator to add confidence. I'm not opposed to him. I just don't see a need for it personally because I'm in and out usually very quickly. But I've always said whatever you can use that confidence to your trades, then nothing wrong with it. Like for instance, you see me using the fib a lot more than I ever used to. I feel it makes sense to, so there is nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Who's going on TikTok today? I was on TikTok for MY yesterday and I had like four viewers. Well, actually I have 2 viewers most of the time. it's either hit or miss on that platform. Kaspira, good day to you. What do you think? Gold sellers on current 1 hour low break. This would be a 4 hour bearish too. Bit bearish. Yeah, gold today I'm not interested in. The bank holiday, look, all day it's had absolutely no volume. I would prefer to probably sell it, seeing the level we're at a 4 hour resistance and we've rejected it multiple times. We're also at a daily resistance. This area consolidation lines up with some support here to the left. So I would prefer to sell it, but I'd have a plan for both. And I feel at this point, even though I would like to sell it from the resistance, there's not going to really be the margin to sell it below the support. So therefore, probably best just to wait and see how price reacts to 23.20, anywhere above that level, for a potential buy option in line with the actual bias and M30 structure as well. To Mafia, nice one. We're gonna buy for 23.27. Nice one, bro. Good work. Hopefully you got a plan as to when to secure some profits or go to break even. So just because something doesn't tick the box for me just yet doesn't mean that you guys don't have the confirmation, and if you do, fantastic. All right, how the 15-minute close? Oof. Big bearish long wick to the upside. Let's see if this candle closes weak bullish, create that minor support, close the M30 still bearish. Would be options to sell it at London Open. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned. We'll have some options moving forward. And seeing we have closed bearish, if the next candle engulfs and close back above the resistance, I'm going to be looking to buy it. In the meantime, guys, we'll be back in... Oh, what have I done to TikTok? Apologize. Apologies. I'll move this up here. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I just need to quickly prepare something. Don't go anywhere. Definitely options, I feel, moving forward towards London Open. So we'll wait and see. Be back in a minute or two. Alrighty guys, I'm back. GJ still rejecting. Your TP, the Mafia 23.34. Yeah, I think it's pretty good level. Yeah, I think it's definitely realistic. Got to break above the current daily counters high though. Yeah, and also the previous daily counters high to do so. But I think it's quite a realistic level. Lumen Chris, should we buy now? Not for me. Waiting 8 minutes to see where GJ closes. There you go. This closes weak bullish. I might sell it. Breaks. We've tapped in, respecting that level to the left. Potentially grab that liquidity from the upside. So if we begin to break the low of that bullish candle, I feel there's a high probability price will come down.
Would you rather it close weak bearish, weak bullish than just bearish?
Probably, because you've got, as long as it leaves a bit of an upper wick on the 15.
Yeah.
Because then you have that minor support at that resistance, and it's still.
So you're breaking.
Yeah, you're breaking that as well. So, and it's still technically bearish. So,
Are you closed? Sorry.
There you go, James.
I was just going to say, close on 30-minute as it is now. Looks quite nice.
Yeah, I agree.
I know. Well, when it was bearish, it looks quite nice when it's bearish. But yeah, I see what you mean. If it's bullish, then it's at least breaking a support.
Yeah, exactly. It still could be breaking support if it closes bearish, because the 15th closes like this right now. The M30s,
yeah.
Well, it's flipping from bullish to bearish. But yeah, the sells are looking good. Sells are looking a really good option. So that's why I'm just gonna line up. I'm not gonna set nothing just yet, but with the use of magic keys, I'm gonna get it potentially ready. 672 is the lowest point of that candle on IC markets. I'd say about 655 as a potential entry.
EJ just melted down to the resistance.
So what are you waiting? Yeah, go on.
I'm looking to see how it's going to close from there, because if you look at it at on the 2, if it will close below this area, that will flip the 30-minute structure bearish.
Yeah, correct.
So though it would still have a lot to do for me to consider selling it, because I would like to see some kind of a structure change on the 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I do use when I take trades on the 2 hour, I do prefer to use the 15-minute structure for confirmation. So
interesting.
Yeah. So most of the time, as it's trying to break below, because if it breaks below here, it will be flipping this 30-minute structure bearish.
Yeah.
And then I would like to see a retest confirmation on the 15 minutes, like for it to retest a confirmation, then break that newly formed low to confirm the continuation on the 15 minutes. And then I can take it on the higher time frame.
Yep. Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, GJ is doing the same right now. It's just dropping. So it could now in the next 4 minutes tap into that support. So then you might have to plan again, maybe looking for the sell from that pullback, or maybe even below 168.96.
You know, if it will tap into this support, I wouldn't even want it to close below it. Maybe it tapped into it and then reject, and then I will look to sell it on the pullback. because
fair
now
enough.
that it already confirms the change of structure.
Yeah.
And given that the higher time frame was already bearish, I don't need additional confirmation again. If the higher time frame was bullish, then I will need like to have like a break below before I can take it. But since the higher time frame is already bearish, I will just have to look for an entry on the pullback.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think it's a really good plan. Breaking just now. GJ is also... GJ makes the move just now. Yeah. Dropping. Sometimes this happens, guys. Sometimes it makes the move just a few minutes ahead of time. Rejected that 80 level to a T, hasn't it? Yeah, the issue now is there's not going to be the margin to sell it. Oh, there still could be, actually. Let's see. Still, it's a strong rejection. Maybe a wide stop loss though. Low is 605, so 200.590. It's about 23 pips stop loss. Be really nice if it actually created a bit of minor support now on the 15 at this previous level and then broke it. But you could use the 15-minute candle as your stop loss, the highest point of the London Open first 15 minutes. Strong rejection though. I still think it's a decent option, as long as it doesn't continue to melt. See, just over a minute until session open. Has to have a decent upper wick, and don't forget guys, we've just had the news, so maybe the news, the impact of it will filter through at the open. Okay, EU sells. Yeah, EU is looking pretty good. Continuation sells, so I want to see the tap in. And since it's come from consolidation, I'd rather look for the entry as it begins to break low off the catalyst candle. Let's see. Don't want GJ to melt in the next 30 seconds. I'll look at it after. Alright, so London Open. Pull back a fair bit right at just before it. Has to have an upper wick. Has to have an upper wick. Yeah, doesn't have an upper wick, not answering. Broken low. Melts and melts. Has to flip now, create the upper wick, and then I'll consider taking an entry as it breaks its own low again. Not taking any entry without the upper wick.
Hate that hourly for sales.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't look great. There's always conflicting stories as you go through the time frames, but that's why I prefer just to stick to more so the 30. Because otherwise it's just going to put me off a lot of the time. But yeah, it's true. The hourly looks horrible. For a sell, it looks horrible. It doesn't look great for a buy as well, to be honest. The rejection of that resistance.
GU does look better though for the buys.
GU, yeah. Okay, let's look at 15. I reckon the GU looked good on 5 minute as well. I reckon GU will be pretty much screaming about in a 5 minute based off another little confluence. Let me see. Yeah, G looks good for a buy. G looks really good for a buy for breaks. Based off 5 minute as well. DJ's pulling back up. So do we have the margin to sell it for breaks zone low yet again? That's the question. Has not flipped back bullish. I'm not seeing that upper wick. 13 pips. Just depends how far this candle now pulls back up. So EU's tapped in. Maybe on a flip. $560. Give you 11 pips. Yeah, it's popped down maybe a little bit too far to sell it below low. So you've only got about 11 pips until that support. I'll wait and see. What I'm thinking is if it flips back bearish, rejecting yet again, X zone low, it's likely going to head back down to 200.4 or that's to be the case, it could have your stop loss above the current candle. But at the moment, we're respecting its previous resistance here to the left. Not ideal. It's really not ideal at the moment. Because we've kind of pushed too far back into the range below. So we'll see. I mean, if this thing closes back above, again, it is London open, so maybe news is going to be considered a decent thing for the strength of the pound and triggering some buyers, and we could be back above that resistance for potential buy options. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on GJ because even if you use the current candle's high as a stop loss, you're not so concerned about one-to-ones and that, but it doesn't make sense to be fishing for 10 pips in a range where you've only got maximum like 11 pips, because what I was considering was an entry at 560 if this candle flipped and broke its own low. So account for spread's about half a pip on IC market, so about 1.3 pips below the current candle's low. I just at that round number 560. The lowest point is 573 on IC market. So what I was thinking was, if it does break its low, that's just a bit fun. So you've got about 11 and a half pips, but now the upper wick is pushed a lot higher than that. Currently about 16 pips, so it'll be about 17, 18 pips stop loss. So it's just not worth it. So I'm just gonna wait and let's see how we close now. If we start closing above, that's good. I'm definitely gonna be keen on the buy option. We start popping back below, it's gonna be tricky at the moment.
Yeah, I prefer those buys.
Yeah, so do I. It's just much cleaner. Much cleaner. Selling back into consolidation, back into the support. Don't really have the margin for it.
Especially with that, with the pause.
Also looking at GJ, I think if you look at the previous, I think it's M30 candle, that the bearish candle.
Yep.
It formed like just between the previous high and this resistance and this resistance dot
Yep.
support now here.
That there.
So
and,
I think if
yep.
it was to break it, if it was to break the high of this candle and close above, it would make for a very nice buy.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I agree completely. It's right now it's bouncing off this previous resistance where it closed right at on the previous bearish candle. So if we now reject that level and pop above the most recent resistance, yeah, the buys will look really good. Really good. You've also got daily candle probabilities. You're likely going to get involved as you break previous daily candles high, or would have broken it prior to an entry. You've got micro trend bullish. You've got 4 hour making a nice clean move as it's formed a liquidity candle against the previous higher high, lower low. So it broke low prior to breaking the high. Now it's seeing it's broken the high. There is a high probability it will trend and continue to the upside. So yeah, I agree. Looking for the buys on GJ. Franco is pushed strong up, maybe leave fake out to the downside. Yeah, so a bit of strength in the majors. Yeah, potentially. And that's why in this situation, it's best just to get involved upon the continuation. So wait for the catalyst closure below, and then only enter if it breaks low of that candle, because then you're in clean traffic. It's likely going to head back down to the next level of support. If you wait to see if it retests, and if it rejects, you're not worried because you're not in a trade. You know that could just be a liquidity grab from the downside. You know, once it pushes back up, and then you know there's going to be options to potentially buy it above that 107.430. So just a matter of patience, and you still could get an option now, but to the upside. YouTube, who's in a trade? Let me know. Anyone currently in a trade? Dog's in one. He's answering. Let's see if I can get a little bugger here.
I'm actually in the GU trade, the GU buy.
Okay.
You know, oh, JJ is moving.
There's two doggos here. I don't know if you can see him. That's one little devil. That's the one that barks. He's my sister's little pooch. He's a terrier. Huh? He's usually cuter, but I clipped him really funny. Dude, it is cold and the dog's got a bloody puffer jacket. Oh, he's got a fleecy jacket. Yeah, so we're waiting on GJ buys, guys. The other one's here, but she doesn't like being picked up. Hey, little bell. Alright, there you go. Oh. Okay, so a few people asked me about UJ, so let me check it. What do you think about gold? We'll move along. Right now, I just don't feel it's worth trading it with the bank holiday in the US today. Don't necessarily think the volume's going to be there. It's in an uptrend, however, it's at resistance. It's at very strong resistance, so not keen on buying the resistance. I'd rather let it create a move through it, pull back, clean move up, clean move down. Then to me, it becomes more tradable. Otherwise, maybe buys from above 23.28, or I'd be looking to buy it from above 23.20 really on the pullback. Yeah, so Mr. Philly's there in GU buys. So to me, GU looks great on the 5 minute. I would have had a confirmation, but I don't trade GU, so not interested. So UJ, sorry guys.
Good morning, Justin.
Good day, Frank. How are you?
Fine, and you?
All good. Very well, my friend.
Today another patient day.
Yep, all the news and everything's going on. Yeah. Good. So read me W1. That a mistake with predictive text? I'm not sure. All right, UJ. That support, that's for sure. The weekly is bullish. Kind of probabilities. Well, it's got a high low, doesn't have a high high. It's at resistance. Maybe it's to the left. Daily, looking like it is exhausting. Structure-wise, it is also technically bullish. Very little volume, momentum on it. Now the 4 hour, sorry, I just saw something pop up. 4 hour is also technically bullish, but once again we can see it's at a pretty strong level of resistance. I'll just be marking in the highs. You got support after support. There is no clean traffic. This is really choppy. As soon as you break this support, you run straight into that support. So when I see it like this, well, the M30 is bullish. I think it looks really choppy. Difficult to trade. It's going to flip bearish below 157.550. So that's when the sells become an option to take back down to 157.350. Not a great deal of margin, but you could get your option for a sell below there. As for the buyers, just chopping about. There is absolutely no momentum at all. So when it's like this, I mean, you trust that this support's going to hold, then you could potentially look to buy it, stop loss lower down, target a bit of a wider target. But as far as a catalyst, there is absolutely zero. Yeah, there is nothing. And if you form support just now, you run straight into resistance, followed by resistance, followed by resistance, followed by resistance, followed by more resistance. There is just no clean traffic whatsoever within the current range. So it's one of those ones, you trust this level is going to hold. You've got bias, you've got structure, you've got weekly, daily counter probabilities inside. So maybe just wait for a strong bullish candle, stop loss below these lows, and target the high of the range. I don't see much on it, to be honest. I really don't. I think it's pretty nasty to look at. GJ rejecting again. And GJ. So next option, maybe if this closes bearish engulfing, but again, it's just the margin. Likely not going to have it. Come on, YouTube. Help me out. Pat, what's going on? Why are we all so quiet? Chat to me.
Strange what's happening with EU. Up and down.
Yeah, like DJ as well. It's a bit the same. So EU, wow, it's a strong move for EU. So literally tapped into 400, that support resistance at 410, and is now back down below 300. So yeah, I think you need to wait for this M30 to close and then potential sells again. Oh, Melbourne -1 this morning. Is that what you meant? Yeah, probably. Sydney was 2 degrees. Nah, it was freezing. Getting out of bed was, whoa, do I really have to do this? It was that bad. I honestly, my feet were pretty cold overnight and got a pretty heavy doona, so I have to wear socks.
Close up on my position on GU.
Yep, okay.
It's looking so good. I don't like the rejection. Really.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because also the M15 open and break the low of the previous M15 immediately. So
Yep, the weak candle. A little bit of indecision at London Open because we're pretty much back where we started.
yeah.
Yeah, just wait and see. Goats, frozen windscreen. Yeah, it was not just frozen windscreen. Oh man, I was frozen. It was bloody cold. Yeah, so hopefully that made sense in UJ, guys. I just don't see anything that looks good. To Mafia, we'll see if M15 candle close bullish. We move long. Gold. Yeah, again, a little bit indecision. There's not much going on right now. Gold's similar because as soon as you break this resistance, you run straight into it, and it's a 4-hour level. So sometimes charts are just at a level that's not tradable. You just need to wait. You need to wait for price to move away from the level and then look for your options to either look for an option upon a rejection or starts to push through it, then wait for the pullback and then potentially buy it. Oh man, YouTube. Smash the like button. Not enough of you on the stream today. Appreciate you guys for joining. Sanitation all good. It's shit ass right now. It is. Indecision, but out no real confirmations to trade. So it's broke the low, it's broke the high, it's breaking the low again. It's likely to come down, but stop loss is huge. Your target's 10 pips. It's, to me, it doesn't make any sense. As much as I want to get involved in a trade. Sorry, man. No, I was just going to say, as much as I want to get involved in a trade, I'm not just going to do anything reckless for the sake of it. Because first of all, I don't want to lose money, and trading is an example that you don't always need to be involved in the markets. If nothing is giving you the right confirmation, then you can just simply hold tight. There is nothing wrong with not trading. Yeah, go on, Franco.
You're saying that all the major pairs are going down right now. GJ, GU, EU.
All the USD pairs, yeah.
Yeah, something is in the market.
Yeah, strong rejection.
Yep, I'm out of that one also.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did take very small position because the way it formed, I didn't really like the wick. The wick was a little bit smaller on the lower wick was not like really that
Yeah, not much
long
below.
enough. Yeah, it was. I wished it would have been lower, but considering the volume that it closed with, I expected it to move a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. It's pretty clean traffic to the left as well. So if it's going to
Yeah.
make the move, it should have made it pretty quick smart.
So either ways, if it's not about any news or something, I still expect it to move, to make that move maybe later on.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
That could
let's
be
see.
potentially, but again, there's obviously with no the bank holiday over in the US today, might be a little bit slow moving forward. This is what I mean, guys. You not a bad catalyst potentially on the 15, but you just don't have the margin whatsoever. Well, that level there, that's not accounting for spread. There's only 10 pips. Once you count for spread, you're looking about 8.5 pips max.
The best, there is a lot of indecision in the market at the moment.
Yeah,
Most of the pairs, they don't know if they want to go up or they want to go down.
No, it's a bit of an arm wrestle right now. Right, in up to both, obviously between the buyers and sellers, very indecisive. It makes it very tricky because this is just consolidating right now. As long as we remain below 200.8, then there is a good chance we will continue down, but it doesn't mean you just sell it because I don't have any confirmation to sell it right now. If it pops above 200.8, I think there's a good chance to buy it, and it's much cleaner above that level. So I think it's just best to choose and wait. Right now, that seems to be the better option. Otherwise, just let it cut through a lot of this mess to the left. Bounce off, potentially buy it from lower down. Or simply lower low. Let me just remove this. To break through this support, there might be options below this support, to be honest. But otherwise, let it create a nice move down, pull back, then form the resistance. Then you might have some more margin to trade in. Is there going to be room below this 15-minute support? Possibly. Look like on a 30. Yeah, I mean that's probably a next potential point of entry for a sell. Probably just have to use the bearish candle wick because there's no zone otherwise. And it could be options to potentially buy it as long as it eventually makes a clean move down. But I mean, right now is just trash. This is the time where if you really want to trade, you probably need to go down to the not even a 5 minute. I feel this can be any option. You probably need to go down to 1 minute. Trade off one bearish candle. There's your resistance.
Are you doing a New York stream today, Justin? Not stream.
No,
New York, cool.
I don't think it'd be worth it, to be honest, man, with the bank holiday. So.
Oh yeah.
In all honesty, I was going to, but then I had a session this morning with one of my a friend and client from the US, and he reminded me that it's US bank holiday. I completely forgot. So there was not much point. He's taking a day off, and I thought, well, I don't blame you because I probably won't bother with NY myself. Because NY, I don't really look at GJ much, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm off. I'll see you in the morning.
No worries, man. There's no
Cheers,
point
bud.
hanging around if there's nothing there, so I don't blame you, brother.
Yeah.
Not a problem, man. You have a good one.
See you, you too.
Cheers, mate. Bye. So one thing for nothing, it was an effort getting to the gym today. It was bloody cold in the morning. Man. You made 5%, Murphy. Nice one. Yeah, I had a good day yesterday. I had a really good day yesterday. Last week was an amazing week. Really good week. I'm off the adage less is more, so I don't trade as often. Yesterday I took 3 trades. The day before I took 2 trades. Some weeks I'll take 10 trades, but on average, I'm likely to take more than 5-6 trades a week on average. So like a trade a day, roughly. But if it ticks the box, then I don't mind to take the extra trades. Just I limit my time in the charts because I feel if you sat there for longer, you're gonna feel a need to trade. You're gonna feel you have justified only if you actually take a trade, irrespective of the result. You want that adrenaline rush from being involved as well. But like I mentioned before, the human mind can only focus on something at its optimal level for about 30 minutes at a time of any one day. So the longer you draw out your session, the more likely you're going to be, you'll open yourself up to making an error in judgment. So I'm really wary of that. Obviously, seeing I have the Discord group, I try to be as active as I can to help the guys out. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, it's all for free at the moment, and not for much longer, guys. I do a shit ton of work in there, and I'll be doing a lot more once the VIP starts. You can just imagine. So yeah, so for me, but it doesn't mean I'm fishing for trades, because I know I can control myself. I know I can sit there, analyze, look at things for the crew, the gang, and I don't have to always be involved. I can happily watch something that looks good but just doesn't tick the box. I don't feel like I need to get involved just because I'm sitting there. And it might sound like but why you can maximize your results, but this is just from experience, because the last thing you want is to take multiple positions or take every entry you see, and then you might have 1 or 2 decent days, but then you have this 2 or 3 days where you might get absolutely rolled and you feel like shit. It's just not worth it. Not worth putting yourself under that stress. Not worth putting your capital or your account, your equity under that stress. Take it from experience, guys. In all honesty, do not stress it enough. You'll actually start to appreciate the days where you don't take a trade. It might sound strange, but you feel good that you've resisted the urge. Something that may not have worked. For instance, if you look to take a buy above, you'd be pretty disappointed right now.
Justin?
Break in the loss. Yep, mate.
Yeah, so just for a general question, maybe people on the live can learn something from it as well.
Yep.
Would you rather have let's say 2 to 3 small risk trades, or would you prefer to just wait for one optimal let's say setup to take one with a bigger risk position?
Yep, that's a fair question. I definitely just choose the quality entry 100% every time, because I understand even if you're taking lower risk, you're not as concerned by the loss, but still, if you're taking 3 or 4 of those, it equates to maybe 1 full risk entry. And if they're not you might start to feel not fantastic in it because it's not your usual entry. Whereas if you wait simply for your entry, your plan to play out, and you know it's a quality entry that you know you're going to win 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10. A few things you feel comfortable in the trade. It's more probable, the entry as well, and it's more likely to give you your end result. So I would always suggest just choosing the quality entry, and sometimes it means you need to wait multiple days. I've had days where I've had 3-4 days in a row where nothing at all presented. I've had days where I have 2 or 3 times in a day where something will present. No one knows, but I would always go for the quality option and normal size trade as opposed to multiple small entries. That's just me. Now, having said that, when I wait for my plan to play out and I see there could be ways to layer into it, for instance on a upward wick forming or whatever, taps into a resistance and rejects, might sometimes consider taking a smaller position at that point, another half or third as it flips, and then another smaller position as it breaks low upon continuation, for instance. So it's still the exact same quality trade, but layering into it. But not often, to be honest. I just normally stick to the plan and one full entry. So hopefully that answers it, and it's a good question.
Yeah, it's good, because actually I do the layering a little bit.
Yep.
When I want to take an entry that I maybe want it to be like, when I take a limit order position, I might go with the lower risk when taking the limit order, but
Yep.
maybe now when it breaks the high, I can now add the position.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
even
good.
make the
Okay.
risk, to make the risk higher.
Yep.
But already you have that risk mitigated by the position you took at the limit order.
Correct.
So
yeah, so you're pretty much, well, you're not going to take a full loss basically.
yeah.
So once you're triggered on your second position, your limit orders usually in some decent profit, you maybe begin to trail a stop on that. And then if your analysis is correct and the plan plays out, and you can start to sort of cut partials to the point where you don't really have to even move your stop loss, but you're still not going to take a loss, if that makes sense. So because you got
exactly.
because you got your earlier entry. I had that discussion today again on the coaching session, that you can do that and leave your stop loss in, because if you secured position 1 at the flip, instead of moving your stop loss to break even, you can give your second position more room to breathe. And even if it takes your stop loss out, as long as it's not a loss, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel it's not a bad way to go about it, but to me, I just prefer usually just use one position. Less have a headache to manage. But yeah.
Yeah, it just depends how you see the trade and how confident you are on the setup.
Yeah, I agree.
Like when I used to trade with just just take the position at once, sometimes I used to be like a little bit jittery and not so confident about that. Is one of the reasons why I stopped trading GJ, because I noticed like I would find a setup on GJ, but for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason I was never really confident holding a trade on GJ.
Okay.
So when it goes into a small stop loss, maybe I will end up like just closing the position, and then immediately it's like the market is just waiting for me. Once I close the position, it moves at that, like literally 5-10 minutes later, it takes off.
Yeah.
So then when I did my analysis from my data that I had, I noticed like I was making money on the other pairs, and GJ was just taking it back and giving it to the market. So I just said no.
Well,
I'm not gonna do that again.
That's good, and it's good that you collected that data to realize that. So that's the only way to know, to be honest. It's the only way to find out if you keep an eye on it. Yep.
Sorry. Any suggestion for EU right now?
To be honest, I don't like that wick.
It's a long week, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, for me it's just it's a bit of a mess right now. Yeah, I can't see much.
So
it's one of those ones
if
where,
we would close stronger, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, if it's one of those ones where, I mean, you could drag that down now. I would probably prefer to see it consolidate and then close below the support and then sell it. So if this candle closes bullish, maybe wait for, going to be a longer wait because it means you need to wait for another M30 to close back bearish below it. And then I trust it, or maybe the 15-minute, this closes weak bullish on the 30. And then you have 15-minute closing below bullish candles low. That's probably a decent option as well, but I'm just put off by that wick. I'm really put off by it. What were you thinking?
What I mean is when the wick, so when we close a little bit stronger, so without this long wick, so this might be a different play, correct?
I had it close stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But it's just,
So this gives me then more sign for strengthness on the bearish side. So
correct,
giving
yeah.
this kind of wick maybe suggests me maybe to head up again,
It could,
because we are at the end in the area of consolidation. So it's not he's pushing through on one side on the downside, but it's still in this area of consolidation at the end.
yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. These wicks are quite awkward to get involved in amongst it, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a wait and see on EU.
Yeah, thank you.
All good, mate. GU still looks okay if it pops back above it into clean traffic. Just quickly, guys, I forgot just to mention about the membership. Now, don't stress it. I've got it there. So there's two different categories. One's just to show a bit of support. It's just a cost of a cup of coffee a month. It gives you access to some gifts, me making some silly faces and that, so emoji, sorry. Plus it gives you access to some members only content, which I've only uploaded one video because there's only one person in there, but if there's more people join, I will definitely upload more content for exclusive for YouTube members. Plus, moving forward, tier 2, it will be like the light version of VIP, the Discord VIP. So what that will give you is access to the MY calls. That will also give you access to certain videos, educational videos, and things like that, and one or two other perks, all the perks from level 1. So something to consider maybe if you're moving forward. Yeah, it's a good way to get involved because the MY calls will be quite regular, twice or 3 times a week once I start the VIP. So that is all there. It's all down below to if you are interested in knowing more, feel free to suss it out. And if you want to know more, feel free to contact me.
What's the thought on EJ?
EJ?
Yeah.
So it's still technically bullish, just. I mean, as far as price action,
15 minutes.
as far as price action, looks like a decent sell if it breaks. Weak bullish candle closure. 15's rejected that support. Pop back above this support. Can we just adjust this? Yeah, I'm not seeing a great deal on EJ, in all honesty. Once again, it's just a matter of margin. And like I always say, you gotta ask yourself, where are you on the chart? Right now, it's very close to support. Doesn't make it easier to sell. So for me, I'd rather try to get involved in sell up here. If I was looking for a sell, which I wouldn't have been at that point. And for me, there was no confirmation. It was against the bullish pullback. Upper wick melts, very hard to get involved in that. So that's what I always say to my guys, just ask yourself where are you on the chart, because a lot of the time, if it's not at any relevant level to get involved in the trade, then you just need to accept it and chill. TikTok, if you have not follow me yet, make sure to do so. Charts are shit, in all honesty. Charts are really bad right now. There we go, the dog agrees again. It's the second time he's right on cue. A little man agrees.
Thanks for the day. I'm going to jump off now.
All good, mate.
But
I don't blame you.
take care of.
Take a break. Yeah. So I'll be on tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. UK time. I'll chat to you tomorrow at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Hopefully I will be around.
Nice one. All right, brother. You have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Cheers. You too, mate. Bye. YouTube, anyone got a heartbeat in that chat right now? Anyone breathing? Anyone there? I reckon we're all falling asleep by the sounds of it. So what was the poll? Poll was up or down? Let's see, what was the results? Oh, I just ended it. 68 votes. So it was for up. Pretty sure it was. I just ended it and I didn't see the results. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, 67 up, 32 to downside, 68 votes. So that was right at the start of the stream. That was, so it's ended up above, so 67 were correct, but it's done absolutely nothing in all honesty. Yeah, have fun. Live stream here in TikTok much clearer than YouTube. Who's there? A few people have said that actually. All good, man, all good. Thank you for joining. Yeah, a few people have said that. It's a lot clearer on YouTube. TikTok, sorry, and the actual audio is better too. Chef Wilson, nice one. Yeah, well, you know, if you can't see me or can't find me on TikTok, you know where I'm at on YouTube either way. But it's just at TikTok, I have no idea because I could get banned any second without any notice. Nasty consolidation right now. Do we have the volume? What a slow session. Maybe I should stream with a face mask or some shit. I don't know. Alright guys, are we gonna try or not? What's the deal? YouTube. Anyone out there? Anyone in a trade?
No, really.
No, it's
So it's very hard.
it is just dull, boring.
I think maybe the move was already with the news, and right now it will not be great because bank holiday in the US. So
Yeah.
maybe I will skip the trade today. I don't know.
Yeah. Likewise, to be honest, I don't think there's much gonna eventuate. It's one of those ones, slow trade. Goat's all good. Ben, yeah, it is really slow.
Okay, Justin, I will leave. So see you tomorrow then.
Not a problem, man. I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you after anyway.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye, mate. Bye. It is very slow. It's pretty boring, guys. Pretty boring. Not really trusting GJ, to be honest, right now. Keeps rejecting. Really needs a strong closure above. I just don't see there being the momentum at the moment. It seems very slow. Been consolidating for the best part of the London session, pretty much the whole session. Need a dinner catalyst? Yeah, probably. Well, let's try it now. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna reject again, or what are we gonna do? GJ, decide. Still reckon GU looks good if it pops back above. Right, clean to the left, just starting to hop above this resistance as well. Very clean to the left. Just need now strong closure up near the high, and GU looks good for a buy. It's tapped back into 127.20, rejected. So GU does look pretty good. Let's see if we can get up to 50 likes, guys. 45. All right, is it gonna close above that 80 level, or is it gonna reject? Well, they're waiting confirmation. Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for the closure above right now. No impulse entry. Coming to the closure of the hourly as well. So that's the catalyst. It needs to close above that M30 resistance, preferably right up near that high at the hourly resistance. Tap back in, and then maybe an entry. If we don't get that, it's likely going to be a no entry day. Yep, waiting. All good, man. Right at that 80 level right now. All good, Ben. No worries, man. Cheers to you as well. Appreciate the support. Hope you're well. And yeah, you haven't gone, brother. Speak to you. Trying. We are trying. Let's see. Has to be a strong closer above. Then the possibilities of buys on GJ. On the line, has to close. Yeah, has to close above it. So I mean, you've got that resistance as well. As long as we close above the resistance, the Asian session, well, during yesterday's high, the resistance formed on the M30, then I would trust it, but it needs to close likewise, likely anyway. If it's going to close above, it's going to close above the most recent bearish candle, which forms resistance at previous resistance, confirms resistance at previous resistance. That makes sense. So once again, I'm really strict, and that's what I want to see, because we've rejected it multiple times. So how am I to trust any impulse right now without any confirmation? Right now it looks like we're rejecting again. So I'd rather just not get involved, and that's to be the case. Wait for the confirmation if it presents. If not, don't trade, reassess. So it's just under a minute, guys. Wait and see. Gold just doesn't have the volume today. Slow trickle up. Just no clean traffic in consolidation. That's trading, guys. It's just part of it. A lot of it's waiting. A lot of it's just simply sitting back waiting. It's a shit closure. It's not going to happen. Yeah, so it's closed below. The hourly's closed below as well. Still, for me, there is no confirmation. It's got no low wick. In honesty, what I prefer to see right now is break above the highest point of the current daily candle, pull back to create a low wick, reject this range, reject this zone, the resistance, and start breaking your own high again. Because at that point there, if you've broken the high, the daily candle high, you can argue you've grabbed liquidity from the upside. So if you begin to flip again, essentially that should be the highest point of the current candle new hourly, and we should head back down. So there would be no need to pull back and break our own high again, having already pulled back into the range below. And if we did so, there's a high probability we've grabbed liquidity from the range below yet again. We begin to break, likely heading up. So that's what it would have been based off, but it's besides the point now, because it's already pulled up a bit, pulled back down a bit. For me, it's just showing like it does not have the legs right now. If it does, so be it. I don't really care, because it hasn't given me the right confirmation. So test of patience, guys. Unfortunately, not every day is a trade day. For me, it's still a win. Still a winning day, because I had the patience to sit, not get involved in what potentially could have been a loss here, or trade we're looking at first of all. But it, like I mentioned, pushed a little bit too far to get involved. Potentially buy above, didn't get involved because didn't have the right confirmation. So I think it's a good day in the end. I think it's a good test of patience, good result in the end. It's still been a good week. Yeah, so that's my opinion of it. Hope you guys understand. Apologies for not taking a trade, but there's not much you can do about it. Yeah, in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna call it because I'm not gonna get a trade right now. Didn't tick the box. If you could do so, make sure to hit the like button if you have not done so already on the way out. And if you'd like to know more about the services I provide, you can find all that down below in the description. Make sure to follow me on IG. Make sure you're following me with the little tick here. That is me. It's been verified. It's definitely me. And yeah, so give me a follow on IG, A.C.T Forex. Yeah, and I'll be dropping some shorts, YouTube shorts, not my shorts, YouTube shorts later in about an hour and a half from now. And I'll also post probably those on IG as real, so keep an eye out for that. Once again, I appreciate you guys for your support. I will be on tomorrow from 6 AM UK time. TikTok, thanks to you as well, guys, for joining. Do you believe in trading multiple pairs? No, I stick to one, Louis. Always. One or two, max. Gold is my primary pair, GJ is my secondary pair. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Do trade safe if you are trading into what is a bank holiday PMI. and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. No NY call for Discord members. I'm gonna chill because in the bank holiday. Until tomorrow, guys. Take care. Once again, trade safe, and bye for now. Cheers.